Good afternoon,นะครับ, everyone. Welcome to our makeup class, and it's our official last class for ICMB207 as well. Hi, ครับ Sukarin. Okay. Good afternoon, ครับ Noppon, Ravinan, and others of you,นะครับ. So this afternoon is the same as in the morning time. None of you are here at all, so lonely here,นะครับ. But anyway, okay, I understand you that I mean, like it's quite late in the afternoon already, and you may have to just like stay home, นะครับ. All right. So what am I going to talk about,นะครับ, for this afternoon session? I will have the wrap up for what we learned in Power BI, and I'll talk about the final examination specification as well, นะครับ. Okay. Let's talk about the final exam spec first,นะครับ, that I prepare for you guys,นะครับ. Just won't be long,นะครับ. Okay. For our final exam,นะครับ. Okay, let's talk about like what we are going to have in the final exam,นะครับ. For our final exam here, we are going to have the final exam online,นะครับ. Similar to the midterm examination. That means all of you will have to do the same thing, absolutely the same thing as you did on midterm exam,นะครับ. I mean for the protocol. So it means that I will announce the WebEx,นะครับ, room for you on the final exam day,นะครับ. So the things that we will do is that because we have to do the same thing as like the other 3 sections,นะครับ. So we will announce the examination room in WebEx,นะครับ, on the day that we have exam. It's around like half an hour before the exam start,นะครับ. I will just like prepare that link in our document,นะครับ, and then I'll just like post it on Ajahn Vira's e-learning,นะครับ. So for our examination,นะครับ, the exam paper,นะครับ, I will make it as a PDF file, and then I'll just like upload onto Ajahn Vira's e-learning. The reason is because I would like to use his part as the center to collect all the exam papers,นะครับ. But I will mark all the exam by myself,นะครับ, including the students from other sections as well,นะครับ, because for midterm exam, Ajahn Vira is responsible for that part,นะครับ, including marking the score. And for final exam, I'm responsible for this part, and I mark the score,นะครับ, so that it will be fair for everyone. So,นะครับ, for our final exam, we are going to have 2 questions,นะครับ, 2 main questions or 2 big questions. Both of them are Power BI,นะครับ, but we will test you in different ways,นะครับ, for each question,นะครับ. So be careful. This one I have to tell you that for the examination questions,นะครับ, 2 questions will use different data,นะครับ. So normally I give you like 2 different files,นะครับ. Why do I have to tell you? The reason is because a couple of terms ago,นะครับ, there were 2 students,นะครับ, they use the data,นะครับ, one file,นะครับ, one data file for 2 questions that are absolutely wrong,นะครับ, because I mean like I try to make the data from 2 different questions in another story. For example, I might say that okay, question number 1 is about barber. Question number 2 is about like toys manufacturing company, let's say like that, so that you not be confused,นะครับ. Because I mean like when you read the sub questions, when I ask about like the sales of the toys, you shouldn't have the revenue for the barber,นะครับ. So you know that okay, it's the question from another problem or another set of data,นะครับ. So what are we going to do to test you นะครับ for the Power BI นะครับ you have to accomplish these objectives นะครับ that I show you on the screen. This one I just like show it on e-learning as well นะครับ that you can just like have a look later นะครับ for this objective นะครับ number one, starting from getting the data from Power BI, you have to know how to import or getting various types of data into Power BI, including CSV file or comma separated value file and Excel file นะครับ okay. So number two นะครับ you should be able to clean the data in Power BI นะครับ especially for unusable data, especially for some data that might be just like start in worksheet นะครับ in Excel worksheet by having just like some headings first and it doesn't or it cannot be the proper headers, then you have to just like eliminate those kind of data and then just make the proper headers. After that, objective number three นะครับ you should be able to add extra columns นะครับ in Power BI using existing data. For example, we learned already that if we would like to find out, let's say, gross sales, and we know that gross sales are calculated from number of items multiplied by price. Oh, sorry, number of items. Yeah, number of items of quantity multiplied by price per unit, let's say. So we have price per unit column. We have quantity column. Then I might say that, okay, create a column called gross sales. And I tell you the formula. Then you have to just like multiply these values together and then create a new column called gross sales นะครับ I'll show you in the wrap up session นะครับ and after that, apart from creating columns, you should be able to create measures in Power BI นะครับ so for the measures in Power BI, normally in this class we focusing on like the formula of all the functions like sum, count, or total. You should be able to find the values นะครับ on this one นะครับ for by creating the measures in Power BI. After that นะครับ you should be able to create reports in Power BI. I mean like when you would like to visualize the data นะครับ instead of having everything in one page, you should be able to create like many pages of reports depend on the data that you would like to display in different topics. And lastly, you should be able to create and choose suitable kind of chart in Power BI. My suggestion for this one นะครับ as you can see that I assigned you the extra point assignment นะครับ to present on different visual นะครับ I prepare those visual the presentation that all of you นะครับ help each other to make that presentation นะครับ it's on e-learning already that you can just like have a look นะครับ let me show you a bit. This one using different visual for your data นะครับ this one it's in the Power BI section, the last one. Once you click on it นะครับ you see the table here นะครับ let me explain this table a bit. The first one นะครับ it tells us about นะครับ the video number นะครับ and different visuals show in this video นะครับ for example, in video number one นะครับ it shows the usage of funnel the funnel, scattered chart, slicer, and key influencer นะครับ when you just like would like to have a look นะครับ on this video นะครับ I had to do like this. It is not the link. The reason is because I created the link before and it makes this page to look just like messy. So that's why I just have to just prepare as the text only. So in order to just open up this link นะครับ you highlight this text นะครับ for example, this one, if you see, you can guess that is YouTube video นะครับ you just highlight this text, right click, and then choose go to this one นะครับ and then you just show video
So
link
good
for
morning,
you.
ladies and gentlemen. So the slides are, I'm sorry, the visual data that I
have this one is just like the first video, and then you can just like go to see the second, third, up to 7 videos. I have just like 7 videos only because there are just like 7 teams who submitted me the work, and these are just like different visuals that you help each other in order to create it. Then you just have a look, because in the exam I don't force you to just like choose I don't force you to just like create a visual. Let's say I don't just force you to use like stack bar chart. No, I might say that, okay, visualize the picture of the sales of the revenue of the barber, something like that. Then you have to choose what kind of visual that we should use. Because if you say that, okay, if the data, or if you would like to show the revenue in months, and we have 12 months to show, pie chart is okay. Line chart, compare with the bar chart might be better than line chart, something like that. So you should choose, or you should pick the visual that makes sense, that makes more sense. Okay, because if you choose the visual that makes more sense, you probably you should get like more score when I just like see the visualization part, something like that. Okay, so this is the thing that you that you will be tested on the exam day. Now let's see what did we learn from Power BI on next Saturday on our final examination. I'll give you 2 things in the exam. The first one is exam paper in the PDF file. Second one is the data file. Once you submit the file back to me it's up to you. You may just like upload both Excel and Power BI file to me, or you just submit me just the Power BI file. That's okay but be careful when I have 2 questions, that means you have to create 2 different Power BI file for me. Don't put them together because they are in different story. The reason is because as we learn already that if we get the data into same Power BI file, Power BI will try to find the relationship. And I told you that they are different story. The data are different businesses. For example, I said one business is barber, the other one is the toy manufacturer. You can't link them together. So that's why I say that you separate these 2 questions into 2 different files. Okay, now let's see. For Power BI once you start the Power BI, my suggestion is that when we have exam on Saturday afternoon in the morning, you should prepare your computer first you download Power BI and open it up and just like play with Power BI on the computer that you are going to use it for final exam. The reason is because if Microsoft updates Power BI on that day, you should update to the latest version you should update to the latest version. Okay. Okay, now when we just like start Power BI, you should see the initial screen like this. You may just like close this initial screen first. You don't need to sign in. But if you would like to sign in, I suggest you to use the Mahidol's email .mahidol.ac.th to sign in, account to sign in, because your email address that is .mahidol.ac.th is linked with the Microsoft account. You can just sign it in so that it will not annoy you while you are working with the Power BI. Now on Power BI on the left hand side this is the view different view of your file. We have report view data view and model view. So these 3 views can be switched interchangeably as you want. Hello, yes?
I think you forgot to share the screen for the Power BI screen.
Thank you. Thank you. When I hear your voice, I know that there must be something wrong. Thank you for telling me. Okay, this one. We have three different views. Now you see it already, right? Okay, you see
Yes,
Power BI screen yet?
Yes ค่ะอาจารย์
Okay ครับ thanks. So we have report view นะครับ that will show the visual นะครับ data view that shows a table that we get into Power BI and the model show us the relationship between or among tables that we've got นะครับ Okay, so underneath นะครับ when we go to the report view, underneath the report view, it shows like different page, like different tabs that you create the page. So that means, suppose I say that I have question 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. You may separate them into different pages, or you can combine them in the same page. I don't mind, but just have a look. If it looks so messy, you should separate them into another page instead, something like that. Okay. Now, when we have like these three views already, the first thing that we have to do is to get the data นะครับ The data that we normally have to get นะครับ in this class are either Excel file or text or CSV file. You have to be careful นะครับ If I would like you to clean the data, you have to do it in Power BI. Don't do it in Excel. So what do I mean? Just have a look a little bit. I'll show you the Power BI. I'll show you the Excel file as the example. Okay. In this one, is the ABC file that we got before. You can see that in here, row number 1 is not okay because it's a header. It's the report header. Actually, the real column header is in row number 2. To clean the data. If I say that, okay, clean the data in the Power BI, don't do like this. You don't delete the row in Excel and save it and get into Power BI because you will not get the score of cleaning the data. The things that you have to do is that I want you to get the data as it is. Okay, in here. I want you to get the data like this, get, and then click open straight away, like this. And then let's see, assume that we are going to get the data from orders table, or orders worksheet. The things that you have to do is that you go to see what worksheet you would like to get the data. Suppose I get orders detail, okay, in here. You can see that, hang on. Oh, sorry, orders, not orders detail, orders. Okay, here. Then you have to, the things that you have to do is that when you see the error caused by the wrong heading in here in the preview, the things that you have to do is that you have to click on transform data. This is just an example only, so I just like get one table or one worksheet. Actually, in the exam, if we have many worksheets, you can get one worksheet at a time, or you can get various worksheets together and then just transform it at the same time. This one is a bit slow, just wait. I better close this file first. Okay. So try not to leave the Excel open while you are getting the data, because otherwise you can see that on my screen, it just like spinning and it doesn't get the data yet because you still open the file. The file is locking. They call it as interlocking. Now I get the data once again. I get orders. Okay, here it comes already, right? Okay. And then you can see that in here in the preview, you can see that the headers right now is wrong because it shows column 2, column 3, and so on. The correct header should be on the second row. Then we may load first and transform later, or we can transform at this step. if we choose transform นะครับ in this step it will open up the Power Query editor for you นะครับ when the Power Query editor is opened already then you can clean the data as you want นะครับ the Power Query editor here on the left hand side one query represents one table or one worksheet that you have got because I just get one worksheet only so that's why the query shows just one worksheet on the left hand side called orders on the right hand side it's the step นะครับ it's the step that you have done so far in here นะครับ they have some default steps you don't need to do anything with the things that Power Query Editor did for you but now from now on if you do anything with the data here you transform it you clean it you delete something always create the new steps นะครับ don't combine the steps together because it will make you confused in this one you can see that the header right now the column headers are wrong but the correct one is in row number 1 then the things that I have to do is to use first row as headers นะครับ then I can click in the transform group choose use first row as headers right now นะครับ it replace the wrong headers with the correct one then you get the headers already in the Power Query Editor here นะครับ you can see that we can change the data type as well so on the left hand side of each column heading นะครับ it has the symbol that symbolize the data type you click and then you can choose what data type that you would like that column to be or that field to be on the right hand side there is new step coming in promoted headers and change type 1 นะครับ the promoted headers here we promote the first row to be our header instead นะครับ something like that and then you just like try to scroll นะครับ left right to see whether all the data types are correct or not if everything is correct นะครับ you have to click close and apply otherwise you have to do something นะครับ for example if you say that okay actually the order ID here you would like to make it as a text นะครับ let me just like show you something I said that okay from 1 2 3 นะครับ it is not the number anymore I want it to be the text นะครับ I just choose text here this is the part that I told you when you are doing something in the Power Query Editor it asks you to replace current or add new step นะครับ because we are quite new to Power BI always use add new step นะครับ because when you undo you will know what you are undoing นะครับ okay in here I choose add new step and then you can see that on the right hand side นะครับ of the screen นะครับ it shows change type to now that means you change the data type something นะครับ if you want to make some comments you may right click นะครับ and choose properties as well and then you just type what you have done so far นะครับ in here or you can rename the step as well as you like in here นะครับ in here what should we do in here นะครับ if we just like I will duplicate this column first นะครับ I will just like do something with it I said that okay because for the order ID I want just like the last 3 digits on the right hand side นะครับ the first 1 and 0 นะครับ this one for example it might be the year something like that so I want to split in this case if you would like to split the column นะครับ in the exam I suggest you to do like this นะครับ before you split anything duplicate it first and split the one that is duplicated because if you duplicate if you just like what to say split from the original column and you did something wrong you lost the original data นะครับ so in this one I duplicate order ID นะครับ so if I clean or I split them นะครับ the original order ID is still there นะครับ then I just choose like what I want to do for example I say that in here I want to split the first 2 characters out 10 นะครับ apart from 248 นะครับ for every single records I want to do the same thing in here I can choose split column นะครับ and choose by number of charactersนะครับ or I can choose by position. In this case, it's the same. Suppose I choose number of charactersนะครับ because this I changed the data type to be to be characters already. I say that I want to split 2 characters from the left hand side out. Then I choose split once as far left as possible. Let's see what happened. I click OK. You can see that in here, the first 2 characters, 1, 0 is splitted. And then I have like the rest 3 characters on the right hand side. That are numbers that I want. So in this case, it's once I split, Power BI try to detect that this one should be numbers, and then it change the data type for us. If you are not okay with it and you want to change it back to be text, that's okay too. Up to you. In this case, suppose I said, oh, I did something wrong, I want to undo it. Then you just like do backward from the bottom up. In this one, you can see that split column by position is here, right? But there is a change type 3 is here. What is it? Change type 3 in this case means that it changed from the text back to be numbers again. Then I just cancel change type 3 first. Now I have like 2 columns that both of them are text. Then I click split column by position and cancel it. So you can see that now I have the order ID that I just like copied out already without splitting. Now I show you another splitting. If I split, but now I split by position I split by position. I want to split at position 3. You can see that in here, nothing gonna work. We try to split by column by position already, but you don't see anything change at all. So that means in this case, split by position in this example doesn't work. Then you have to split by the number of characters instead. And the example that we learned in the class is that, if you remember, we split by delimiter. We split it by delimiter, if you remember. Just won't be long. Okay. Here. Okay. So split by delimiter means that you have like some spatial character that is used to separate the text apart in every record. For example, if you have a look on my screen, delimiter here to split country from other part of the address is comma. Then you can use comma to separate. But sometimes in some situation they may not use comma, but they may use space. They may use semicolon, something like that. Then you can just like specify the symbol to use for splitting the column as well. Okay, so now when we finish cleaning the data, the things that you have to do is that you have to close and apply. Always do it. Don't do like this. If you open up the Power Query editor, don't go back to Power BI screen like this, because you haven't confirmed of any changes at all. If you do something with the Power BI desktop here, it might cause the error, because, for example, if you say that, okay, you want to refer to order, but unfortunately, you split the order ID already in the Power Query editor, the order ID that you use in the Power BI screen might be wrong. So that's why when you finish working with the Power Query editor, click close and apply. Always do it. Now, once you click close and apply, Power BI will load the data back to the memory of the Power BI section, and then just like manage everything as we did in the Power Query editor. So in this case, if you go to the data view, you will see that in the orders table, we have a column called order ID 1, order ID 2, that we splitted the data already. This one. Okay, right. This is the data that we got, and we clean the data. After that, the next thing that we learned was about to create a new column. When you would like to create a new column, okay, let me just get the rest of the data into this Power BI file first. Okay. Then I load everything first. Okay. Now, when I'm loading all the data into my Power BI file, you have to wait for a while. Depends on the spec of your computer as well. Right, on the right hand side, now you see lots of tables and different fields in different tables already. Just check a bit in the relationship. You should have the relationship among different data. Sometimes some column is wrong, like this one. You can see that there are some columns wrong. Don't leave it like that. You have to go to transform data in Power Query Editor straight away. Otherwise, you can't go to the visualization of the data. I just check the rest of the thing. This one, the headers, column headers are wrong. I have to switch again in the customer table. Yeah. Then I do it already. Employees, yeah, it's correct already. Category, correct. Orders detail, correct. Product, wrong. Then I delete row 1 first, and then I just use first row as header later on. I remove row number 1. So I can switch the first row to become headers. Okay, now I did it already. Supplier, everything is correct. Yeah, now confirm everything correct, then you click close and apply before we go back to Power BI screen, and then you apply change. Don't forget to apply change if they have something to show you. In this one, upgrade to the new model view for an improved design. This one is the updating version of the Power BI you should upgrade. Okay. In here, you can see that there are the linkage among different tables already. It should be okay now. All right. When you see this already, then we can go back to our data view. In the data view here, on the right-hand side is the list of the tables and the field in that table. For example, if we click on orders detail, you can see that this one is the orders detail table. We are going to start the new column. As I told you earlier, the column is a way that Power BI used to calculate something and display the value, or cause a value to be created in every single record, but it has shown in the new column instead. In here, you can go to table tools and new column, or you can go to home and then choose new column, same thing. It will pop up a new column for you, and it shows the formula bar. Make sure that if you would like to have or create the column for what table, you have to click on the table first before you create a column. Otherwise, it will go to the wrong table, and the column might be wrong. Then when you have column like this already, you can just type the formula as you want. For example, if you would like to multiply unit price by quantity to have the gross sales, you just type a part of the column name, like this. I type unit, and it Power BI pop up unit price for you. You double click, multiply by quantity. I type quant. It pops up quantity in here. You double click here. And then I rename the column, replace the word column with gross sale, and press enter. Then a column called gross sale will be created here นะครับ so you can just like have a new column already so you can see that for the column it shows in every single record นะครับ because it's the multiplication of the unit price นะครับ in every record by the orders by the quantity of every record as well so that's why it shows the gross sales นะครับ for each record in here after that นะครับ we talk about the next one that is the measure นะครับ that is the measure the measure is the way that we calculate something นะครับ that is one number นะครับ of the table for example we count it for example we sum some value นะครับ but be careful นะครับ when you are in the data view นะครับ you will not see the value นะครับ as the output of the measure how to know that whether we have the measure stick to that table or not you just have a look on the right hand side in the field list and then you will see the calculator symbol นะครับ stick on some table that means it's a measure created for on that table for example here I want to find total gross sales and I know that total gross sale is the sum of gross sales นะครับ I will create a new measure นะครับ I go to home click new measure it looks similar to the column นะครับ because it the measure shows the formula bar as well then I just type sum นะครับ and then I choose gross sales you can see that gross sales is here นะครับ so if I have sum of the gross sales and press enter you can see that it doesn't show gross sales นะครับ in the table at all but on the right hand side you see a measure here นะครับ under orders detail table นะครับ so if I would like to edit this measure I have to click on that measure and when it pops up the formula bar you just change it for example I name this measure as gross sales measure total gross sales measure นะครับ so that I know that this is the total gross sales and it is a measure as well total gross sales measure press enter you can see that in here I have a measure called total gross sales measure นะครับ stored in orders detail นะครับ because it's inside orders detail if you collapse order detail the total gross sales measure is collapsed too นะครับ and when you would like to display the value นะครับ from the calculation of total gross sales measure you have to use the tools นะครับ the visual tool like card or multi-row card to help displaying that value นะครับ for example I click card and then I go to orders detail and then I choose total gross sales measure yeah this is the displaying of the measure apart from that one นะครับ you can see that when we created a measure right now you create it in the total gross sales measure in orders detail table but the measure can be created anywhere doesn't matter whether the value is stored in that the value from the formula is stored in that table or not for example I want to keep my total gross sale measures in category table you can see that this is category table it has just 3 columns only but I want to create the measure here นะครับ see what happened I click new measure and I name this measure as total gross sales in the parenthesis new measure นะครับ equal the same formula นะครับ sum of the gross sales and then the close parenthesis you can see that when I press enter it doesn't show the error นะครับ and on the right hand side you see total gross sales new measure is here underneath categories it's different from column นะครับ for the column if you store the column นะครับ you have to store column in the table that you have the calculation but for measure it doesn't need you can keep anywhere because for measure it has just one values only and you can see but anyway for the total gross sales new measure it doesn't show any value in the table here if you want to show the value you have to use the same นะครับ measure the visual like card and then you just click categories total gross sales new measure so that it can show the value for you นะครับ in here so this is the measure that we learned นะครับ if you are not satisfied with the display นะครับ in here for example 1.35 million if it doesn't look okay for you you can just like add or increase or decrease number of the decimal point as you like as well นะครับ like this because you can see that it might show just like 1.35 M but you want to have some more values นะครับ or you may change the format as you like นะครับ to just like show some other numbers as you like okay. something like this นะครับ so this is like what we have to know about like the measure and the columns that we have got after that when we have the data in term of in term of columns in term of measure already then you have to choose the visualization นะครับ to match with the data that should be displayed because you can see that in here if you have just one value like in a measure and you try to just like use pie chart to display measure okay total gross sales you can see that this one it looks terrible doesn't make sense at all why 1.35 million show in 100% you don't have any comparison why do you have to use pie chart to display นะครับ normally we don't do that ครับ okay so this one is the way that we have to know and then นะครับ when we just have the visual นะครับ to display like this and you think that oh this one it doesn't work because I mean you would like to keep the card together and you would like to keep the chart นะครับ in another page you can just like click new page and then you just like add the chart in that one and you can also นะครับ rename the page as well as you like นะครับ as you like to be whatever you want นะครับ okay right so in this class นะครับ when we finish the thing creating the Power BI file we just save it as the file that is ended with .pbix only นะครับ is we end it with pbix file just won't be longนะครับ so when you submit to me you just submit .pbix file นะครับ my tricks a bit before you submit any data any file to me นะครับ it also be useful for you in the future as well นะครับ for example now you are working with Power BI the things that we have to do before you send to someone for example if you want to send as an email attachment or if you want to upload into into what to say Google Drive or if you want to submit on e-learning save and close that Power BI first don't leave it open นะครับ don't leave it open because if you leave it open what will happen the things that will happen is that it will cause the problem in that the data that you see on the screen and the data or the file that you send to other people might be in different version นะครับ so that's why you have to save it first and close it นะครับ let's see in this one I'll save and close this file นะครับ for example if I say that okay I save it as my file นะครับ okay. I create a new folder and I name this one as test. Let's see what happened. When I save this file, everything is saved already. I can close Power BI and then I can upload. I can upload the file into other places already. I just want to show you something. Okay, if right now I copy my Power BI file to somewhere else. For example, I copy my file to D drive. I copy this one to my new folder. And also my data file that I got, ABC sales here. I move it to my new folder too. Yeah. And then you can see that I have a folder called PMB. I may zip or compress this file and send to other people. When they uncompress the file and they open up the folder that they have in their computer, they have the file like this. Now let's see, I'll open up my Power BI file once again, and I want you to see what's going on. If you just open up Power BI, there's no problem. It just open up. You can just see the reports, create the new visual without any problems. Okay, just what belong. Let's see. So right now it's just calculating, processing, and show the data. Yeah. Okay. This is to visualize the data, but when you have to open up Power Query Editor, let's see what happened. I go to Home, Transform Data. This is a problem. You can see that all of the tables on the left-hand side are showing with the exclamation mark. What's wrong? It said that data source error. Couldn't find this file. Actually, some of you may say that, hey, but you copy this file into your folder already. What's wrong with it? Why Power BI cannot find it? Don't forget that before I just have this folder, the file ABC sales for Power BI was in the download folder, and then I just cut and paste into my new folder. That's why if you have a look in Power BI, Power Query Editor, in here it said that it cannot find this file in the folder users MUIC download. That's why it caused the error here. During your exam, some of you may see this problem as well, because you may have to switch or move the data from one folder to another folder all the time. So in this one, how to fix the problem. Once it shows data source error, could not find file, you have to know that because you changed the folder of your data. In this one, firstly, you go to this folder first. Now I go to download folder and I see whether I have the file called ABC sales for Power BI number 2 or not. If I go there, I don't see that file. That's why it caused the error. You have two different ways. The first one, copy the file, data file into download folder or to the folder that's specified here. Or you click go to error and fix the problem here. In this one, I choose edit, go to error and then choose edit setting. The problem right now is that orders worksheet or orders table is located in the file called ABC sales for Power BI 2.xlsx. Previously, this file is stored in download folder, but now I changed already. I say that I change it to be in the drive, in the folder PMB, and then I click the file that I have got. I click OK. Now, The first table doesn't have any problem already นะครับ orders doesn't have any table already doesn't have any problem already. Next, I have to do the same thing with other tables because Power BI will recognize one by one at a time only. You do the same thing. You click go to errors, edit setting, and then change to the correct position. Do the same thing with other tables in here. Okay. So in here นะครับ you have to just like click on many tables to let it refresh the screen for you. And right now you can see that there is no error in front of the table already. Now the linking between Power BI goes to the new location of your file that you store in this folder already, in the folder in the drive that you just move your original file to this one นะครับ in here. Right. Okay. And now everything is updated นะครับ in Power BI. You just wait for a while นะครับ Okay. Right. Now the data is linked with the Power BI already นะครับ You can just like do anything, including just going to transform the data as you want นะครับ something like this. Right. Okay. Now there's no error anymore. Okay, and then you can just like work with Power BI, right? Okay. So that should be all for the things that you have to know for working with your final exam นะครับ for Power BI, right? Okay, then นะครับ up to this point, do you have any questions ครับ? We will have two questions.
อาจารย์คะ
question in the final exam only นะครับ Yes ครับ Ravinan.
When will you upload the clip video?
Which one ครับ Which video?
For this one ค่ะ
For this one, by tomorrow ครับ I'll have to just like edit it tonight.
โอเคค่ะ Thank you ค่ะอาจารย์
Yes ครับ
Could you please upload on your teaching Power of BI file?
Power BI file, the one that we use in the class, right?
Yes.
Yeah, sure, no problem.
ขอบคุณค่ะ
So any other question ครับ Oh, by the way นะครับ while you are thinking about like the question, for the work นะครับ the presentation that you submitted to me นะครับ the presentation I mean the Power BI presentation นะครับ about like different type of visual, it seems like just one team นะครับ submit me the Power BI file only นะครับ I mean all of you submit the video link นะครับ but just one of you submit the Power BI file. So for the rest of you นะครับ who haven't submit me the Power BI file yet นะครับ can I request on something? Could you please submit me two things นะครับ even the team that submit the Power BI file already, would you please submit me two things? The first one, Power BI file .pbix file นะครับ The other one, Excel file that you use to get that data นะครับ Let me write it down for you นะครับ just won't be long นะครับ One is Power BI file and two is Excel file that you use for Power BI นะครับ that one. Please submit it to me. I'll just like reopen that submission for video clips once again นะครับ just one submission per one team is enough ครับ Okay, all right. Okay นะครับ So up to this point, do you have any other questions that you would like to ask me?
So John, we have to submit also submit the Power BI file and the Excel file.
Yes, please. Yeah. Apart from the video link ครับ
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Please submit it to me. It's my fault because I didn't tell you that you have to submit Power BI.
Oh, okay ครับ
Yeah. Please do it for me.
Thank you.
อาจารย์คะ will you create a new assignment because the old one that I submit the video link I cannot submit the Power BI file.
Right. Okay. Thank you ครับ Suphasini. I think because our e-learning has some problems because you have to choose what kind of submission. If you submit the link, you cannot submit other things. If you submit the file, you cannot submit the link. Okay. Thanks for telling me ครับ Then I'll just like create a new one for you. ครับ Thank you very much. Yeah. How many of you are with me? Oh, 15 of you. Still good. I know that the rest of you are busy. They may want to watch from the video instead. Okay, then นะครับ everyone, if you don't have any question now นะครับ then I'll just like let you just like go so that you can just have dinner or just go out or just have rest or relax นะครับ Just a little bit before we finish everything นะครับ everyone could you please turn on the camera for me ครับ I just want to see who just like stay with me until the last lecture. Your PC don't have camera? No phone. How sad it is. Okay. Oh, by the way นะครับ for anyone whose computer นะครับ whose computer doesn't have the camera นะครับ you have to know that on the examination day นะครับ we need to use the camera นะครับ we need to use the camera that means นะครับ my suggestion นะครับ just one below you use your PC นะครับ you use your PC to work นะครับ with Power BI and then you use your smartphone to log in WebEx because it's the rule นะครับ it's the examination rule when the students take the exam you have to turn on the webcam all the time นะครับ okay so if you don't have yeah okay no problem that's good ครับ if you have a problem I mean like you need to have plan B as well because on that day who will know maybe your webcam will be broken on that day then you may have to use this channel to help that means use the webcam on smartphone is okay too นะครับ okay right okay นะครับ everyone นะครับ so glad to have you here with me นะครับ for my class นะครับ I think for because I have just one subject in BBA only to teach you as a core subject as a as a required course so this is the only course that we see each other but we still have like some other subject that we may see each other like gen course in the future who knows and on the next term when you come back to MUIC if you see me just say hello to me so that I know you were my student before because otherwise if you just like don't say hi to me I don't know who you are I think that you might be a new student something like that นะครับ because I mean like sometimes I just like walk to Atityathon building sometimes นะครับ you might be like sitting and having some lunch something like that we can just like say hello to each other นะครับ okay right okay นะครับ right now นะครับ that's all for my class นะครับ I hope that you become successful in studies life นะครับ in MUIC นะครับ and I hope that you'll be the quality person for our community นะครับ okay then นะครับ everyone take care นะครับ of yourself stay safe นะครับ bye bye and then we see each other again on next Saturday นะครับ in the exam bye bye ครับ good luck ครับ
Thank you very much ครับอาจารย์
You're welcome
Thank you ค่ะอาจารย์
สวัสดี
Thank
ค
you
รั
ค่ะ
บ
อาจารย์
bye bye ครั
ขอ
บบ
คุณค่ะอาจารย์
ครับ
อาจารย์ขอบคุณค่ะสวัสดีค่ะ